Baraza na mwezi 29 mwezi gwa 8 mwaka 2022 kwaniriza baba neno TV bachibazinga nize samu mwesigwa neno program the platform every single Monday okuva esawa ina paka esawa eyo itane kitundu okutuka ku mukaga tubawo mudiro byokusobola okwogera ku nsonga selecting edikulumi ebirowoozo nga abantu abandi bebadoogeraku obagana mu katawuni akalira inaawo wabagana mu fene wabawulira ku radio wababona ku TV nga boogera ku bintu wasigala nga toli bitegeera abandi mwatuuka kwogerawo kigambo kirala nti ani afuga Uganda owundi waba bimulemi yakuba nti Uganda olimwa ensonga edifaano tinedo tudeeta platform katuti twadiwayaku era tusobola okuva wano nga tuli bamativu nti olina kyoyezemu olunaku olwaleero nakulukaire bulungi ebitundu ebyendawulo ebitundu bya Uganda ebyendawulo amaadi galitona nga tulina okutataganya abantu abo bali kutambula nga balijja kusuubula bajja kola emirimu abali basically in trade aye ate abalimi bibaisano era ebitundu ebiyitonamu amaadi nga mulima mujje mulimi tusobola okuba n'emmere tusobola kuva wano ng'ekyo tikyogaireku ebindi ku ebyo nebyo abandi bataboogeraku abakuba kirala babakobera emipiira tiimu d'emipiira babakobera n'ekyeyisa abagenzi babakobera n'ebyama ebizuuse era saawa n'ebifaananyi bitube muli kwenda inoowulira ebyama ebizuuse ku nfa ya General Elite Mwine namwandu akobya ati but sometimes tibijaleeta mmere ku meeza nze abantu bange bempaya nabo ababone banga ba programu eno kyowe ntiranga okuba ate nga ndowooza kyaba twogera ku nkulankulana ebyebisinga bimala nibiddamu tumaliriza ng'ekooli nashootwere mu studios ninamu mbaka wa parliament owa Bunole ey'Ebuvanjuba Honorable Yusufu Mutembuli amyuka isente bwakakiiko aka Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee munamateeka ate n'abaamu n'omukenkufu Isaac Christopher Lubogo yena munamateeka ate agasomesa ensonga tulijja kuba ate nga twogera ediwerako ye tujja okutandikira n'ensonga eya Parliament yaviireyo yakoba nti tubaga iteeka era bwe tuba tubaze iteeka Abannayuganda abakukunavu nga bano ba Mutembuli bano ba Professor Isaac Christopher bano we banaalwala nga batatwalibwanga nga Uganda kwidandabibwa baidandabibwenga munda muno mu Uganda kubanga sitandise otuweebula n'ensente lijja mpanvu ino weireebeire n'enkola tubona oba iteeka lino liri kwedda mu mutima mulungi oba liddire mu kaire ng'eziraali ijjalyaniriza Professor nsanga era okubona olwakaire ndi katugire ku buli omu ojjala musanga tuliwo nenda tutandikire wena Parliament eri kuleeta ibaga ery'eiteeka ekoba nti ababaka ba Parliament okusinga ababaka ba Parliament bano bawonawo Mutembuli bano balwala balina kuka privilege akasente ako ni ba minisita batwalibwe enda wa Uganda Parliament yakuba kitairayo okubaawo ndowooza kirina engeri ekiri kuleetera osansanya esente eddampa musolo n'okuweebuula ensi yeffe etteeka eryo liddire mu kaire kakalamu oba Parliament eri seekinga relevance mu mbeera eneeryo
abali tubona abooluganda bakwano baife tubalamuyisa kibuuzo ky'obuuziza kya buvunaanyizibwa era ekirungi nti n'omubaka waife ali wano adda kutulinala ku lwaki abona nti bayinda okikola nze ng'omuwandiisi era agezaku okusoma ebintu ebigamagana n'issemateeka ndowooza nti tulina okwegendereza ensonga dino ate tulina oditwala nga ekintu ekikulu a right to a health wemanga nkivunula mu lusoga kyandibere kitya
eidembe omuntu okwidembe okuba omulamu
yes
ng'okufuna obwidandaba
kyamukisa mubi nti constitution yaife bw'ogiringamu ezira ino kintu kigemagana na a right to health okutalaku okuba nti bakyogera ku mukyebeta national directive principles of state policy wonka wokibona era woba wetegereza semateeka oidda kubona nti tidde bakyali kyabugenderere oba kyali kyabutafayino ku bintu bigemagana na bulamu bwa muntu in terms of a right to health ensonga lwaki tibakigema win namaani wabairewo emisango egibaire nga gigezaaku okuleeta ebintu ebigemagana nti right to health tutandika n'omusango ogwawozebwa justice egonda ntende ogwa Tinefunza versus Attorney General bwe yayogera yakoba ati a right to health is not justiciable tikiri mu ngeri ya justiciable bw'osoma Zakara Roman another yona ayogera ku nsonga eti neeyo kyatuyamba nti although principles ido dendogere kudogera ku mu ngeri nga dekooniza ku kintu ekigema ni right to health ekintu oba omuntu yagezaako okireeta obulungi n'omulamuzi gwe beeta Lydia Mugambe mu musango gwa Sehad versus Idi Mulago ni wonka wagezaako okuleeta ya referringa ku articles 44 ni 24 ni African Charter eyogera ku right to health. So nze ndowooza nti ebintu ebigemagana n'eddembe n'obulamu obw'omuntu bikulu ino. So parliament bw'ebanga evaayo yakati ndikwenda kubega iteeka eriziiza abantu okuba nti banoonya mu ngeri y'okweyamba mu kyobulamu bw'ebanga eri kukikola olw'ensonga nti ssente edda dirifulumira edda omuwi w'omusolo edda iweninze omuntu wa buliido nga dirikuyamba certain class of individuals, then I can agree nti batuufu. Aiwe kibanga ate a private individual for example ng'ali ku seeking a remedy okuba nti asobola okweyamba oba okwedandaba ndowooza nti yandibaira aweebwa omukisa ogwo bebeeto eyo. I will give an example. In America for example wobanga olwaire ng'olina obusobozi obukola for example heart transplant oba liver transplant mulimu abantu nga even in America itself kije beta superpower nga medically it is very expensive okubona nti omuntu ayedandeba mu ggwanga eri era abantu kye basinga nga bajja kai India. Imagine Americans boarding planes bajja mu India for heart transplants kubanga it is they find it more cheaper ere. So tulina okukitegera nga wenkobe on a conscious point of view.
Okay.
Kituyamba kitya era kijja kuyamba muntu ki era kirigemaani. That is the fundamental point gye ndowooza nti twandwe tulingirira.
Simba wakati honorable nenda tutandike wena. Parliament nimwe abasettinga agenda mu bintu ebisingako. What is yours about this?
Musooka ndikiwulira kuiwe wano. TDA eriyo biirwe eyo oba eriwa oba kyali kirowoozo ky'omuntu mulala member wa parliament imbaire nkali kirowooza ku nkali kyonako akahoye sinakakoba nti I think tuyinza okuba nga tuli kumixinga ebintu bibiri. Ezira parliament wesobola okola iteeka nti liziiza omuntu okujja ofuna treatment outside the country like cancer olubogo wakobye. That would be unconstitutional. Because here to right to life, much as there is no specific provision on health, but when you're discussing right to life, ezirangeri wolekera kuruya ku bintu bigemagana ni health. So for you to deny someone opportunity okujja kuruya afune treatment, nze mona kiri unconstitutional. However, if it is an aspect of the budget, okay, into we are spending a lot of money ku muntu omulala, and to make matters worse bona basinga obungi betuli kutwala kuluya tuli kubayizanga bakoze eki nga bafiire governor speaker woyo buti general oli kibona at the end of the day nze kiri tutisa no tutisa okiwira nali mu constituency nga ndi ni complication n'ekigere kino nakuberanga abantu nti bane ekigere kino bankobye nti America yo bajja kunkolera ku bulungi abantu baneegayirira akati mwana iwe tuyambe fazalo olwane mwene mu nekigere kikole ki kiwone obona speaker yakavanga America bamuyiziza nga timu ki wena tomana kye kisobola okola ki. So in one way or the other abantu batandise okuba nti batya, but I don't think parliament tuyinza okutyama out akoba nti tuziyiza omuntu yena okuba nti ajja kufuna treatment. But in terms of budgeting, wetubanga tubona nti we overstretched as a result of sente editutayo de neningi then at the same time tulikwiza abantu bayifenga tubafunye treatment inungi instead nga bakoze eki nga bafire
omuntu yandibuuza ni kino nti badding ntories oba VIP mu iwange erya Uganda basically abakozi ba government nti wabanga afunye obuzibu na treatment ye bakubadeni ya government.
But let me tell you,
banimira kujanda wa Uganda, is it a policy nti Uganda tuzira byabulamu biri ku mutindo kwidanda ba VIP?
It's not something very easy as people think. Into because you're a member of parliament immediately onafu nobuzi wona na tunenda ndumuke nje kuluya. Eriwo ni board yaba doctor abalina okurecommending anti yes eno situation we tuwona mu Uganda tesobola kumanagingwa eno okujachi. But some of these fellas bemubonanga bajire tubawona ntulako aba government aye bisere bisingo bungi we yagananga bali kwejanda. Let me give you an example. If muri wano mutu wona ntu insurance, okay, bakanta abe members of parliament no walwala bamukolako nali mu idwaliro ku kigere kino I paid almost 70%. Insurance ngesaswire kone like 30%. Ayo omuntu wa ulido, yes, cover is small. So omuntu wa ulido akoba nti member wa parliament bamu wa kadi erezirana kyakola ki. So even okujja kuluyeyo tubajja kugema bugeme sente nti bakuwaireja amatendero galiwo mangi ino ni body yaba doctor baliwo abali commenting abakwati yes enowe tulengerera gundi ene eri complicated omuntu oni yetaga koleki aje kulia. But I don't think there is any member of parliament a proposing anti tulobera abantu okujja kuluya. I think if there is such a proposal, personally I will oppose it. Lwansonga nti idembe lyo omuntu okujja okufuna medical service anywhere of his choice.
Idembe lya muntu, but we are looking at in the aspect of the government officials who are using government money.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
We say, can't it be treated here to Zilamusobozenga Uganda?
Of course, by the time someone thinks about getting out of the country, abageze izaku wanonga because echinga birebe. Chova nkobi entu wali eyo board. Eringerera yalingira medical forms dona njire na kasero birobye, njire mulago birobye, njire nsambya birobye, njire wanoona consultants wanabona biba idinti mu field yo baidi because echi birobye ngakata. I think there is a justification for this particular person okolachi ntaje kuluya bakolechi bamutreating. That is on government. If it is official ayo ja wali ngira ba officials abandi mwawuli anti gunda ajire ayi ngate treatment eri private ulichitegera. So if kakiko ka health kali kobanti because of budget center ninje dija mugundi. But then that takes us back to one thing. Why can't we fix our own health services here?
Because we are not using them.
Exactly.
And when
because
we continue going
parliament ya wa kuteniti parliament appropriated a lot of money okole edwa libeta lubowa nga intention yaliwo into tuleme ku spending a lot of money titulikuja Germany tulikuja India tulikujawa hope yaliwo nti neidwa ye bali kujja kuzimba nga if aba bayirenga tulumuka tuja America tulikuja India tujawa tujja kuba ni idwa lyo lisobola okola emirimu edonadona. Unfortunately uli omwaidi what has happened to that project.
And okay? Because we don't do it from inside here, no one is bothering to monitor its completion. Katuna professor.
Hey, bameka abajja kuluya. Let's be honest. How many of us bajja kuluya bameka?
Honorable, there are not so many. But still those who go. There is a picture they paint for Uganda.
So for us we are pushing into kwendeno project eni ya Lubowa. Eidwa lyo no balite mu nkola balizimbe so that to minimizinga cost yedo andone dili involved okubantu twala abantu okujja okufuna treatment kuluya. Even me, but let me tell you, abantu abakalita amulanga ko kujja mu byalo ebindi oyinza okwegomba ino. But staying outside your country, wabanga oli eyo, even treatment ngoli gifunira kuluya watali waka. I don't think anyone enjoys it. Tichiwanti na ubona bemubonanga bali kujja kuluya nti ndi kujja mu idwaliro Nairobi bichi ajayo tilo akuba nti yeyendera ezira muntu atayenda kuba emulago abantu ebasolo mu accessinga oidi nti n'abantu okuida okusasira ku lyona idagalo lidi. But imagine oli munu ni bakutwaire oli mwagakaani baba kutwairewa oliyo wenka many times ni family members abatula bakuwa nasi akukolaku
At least.
So I don't think anyone can find that one as a very good life nti gyandibaire nga akobera mu nti ze nenda bantu ale in such and such area omuntu ajjayo just because of the situation, but we have a duty as government okumakinga sure nti health facilities they tulinago amadwaliro gaife tugaequipinga tugate ku standards, and that is I think gundi health cheri kutakuchi amana, and as members of parliament fena tuli ensuring that is done. Abantu avoiding okuba nti bajja kulia and we spend a lot of money.
Wembanga tili amere yawe kiba kizibu eno okutegeera emmere engeri yefumbibwamu. Era bwe twalinga ku masomero nga abasomesa tebali amere y'abaana nga baana mu complaining batufumbira ebidandali ebitayire batukola, but because abasomesa tebagirya tibaidde era baidde abakuba wemujja okwekalakaasa. Is it because these government officials tibadandabira amalwaliro ga wano so tibataayo mirowoozo oba gafaana gatya oba gawa oba tigawa? What they just have that appetite of going abroad for prestige nti bamwidandabira kwebwe?
I think kyetulina okutegeera Mwami Samuel ni mukwano gwange honorable nti unfortunately system yaffe eno eggwanga lyaffe has created a caste system nti mulimu ebyana n'abaana. Era odda kweyagana nti some people honestly speaking go to holidays in Dubai batwala ne ba housemaids bayiwe abandi bajja kukyakala kuzaala. I know people who actually refused okufuna vaccinations that COVID in Uganda because they were not actually believing in the system here. And
but they are the one in the system.
Yes, and they went to America and
privately.
They got the COVID whatever vaccines and stuff like that. So challenge yetu inayo is that okulumirirwa omuntu wa bulido. Honorable Comment, why don't we create a system that is competent enough okuba nti esobola okugarantinga health yo buli muntu yena yena. Ekintu ekyo kisoboka if we have the will nga abantu. Aye nga wenko nti system y'abano ba benako ba oligarchy aba who oligarchy nabo abakanti nako be statement last time nakanti hybris syndrome needs to nemesis. Hybris syndrome ino okwematiza nti iwe buli kintu kyonna kyonna okisobola. Then nemesis weyagana nga kikulire bakoba ati ensowera ewuniriza a coffin weroba okuvaako ojja kweyagana nga bagizikire muki mu coffin kuba irowooza nti erina ekirimu ekirungi. So tulinamu abantu abafaana oti naabo abatalumirira eggwanga lyaife okuba nti singa tusobola okuequipinga eggwanga lyaife to are creating a healthcare system. I just told you Article 8A ya Constitution makes a provision nti wadda kubaawo an element of justification in terms of a right to health. And even Article 8 subsection 2 ekoba nti Parliament shall actually make laws. Professor Ben Tunomugisha, Makerere University Faculty of Law, wrote a whole book on health as a law, which is now being taught in almost all jurisdictions. Yakat, but let Parliament go ahead and make those provisions in terms of enforcing the law to right to health. Unfortunately, Parliament has not done that today. So the challenge we have today, whether it's a quality over problem, yeah, policy makers or legislators or that caste, special caste, who are like the other friend of yours, omwidukiro omukyalo Maria Antonite, eyakuba ati abantu bali kwekalakaasa mbuki nti abantu bangi mutibenda migati
gundi bills before Parliament
tibenda migati yakati oba tibenda migati mbawe kege. It tells you a disparity in terms of understanding. Owekitiibwa aliko bateri before Parliament. But we have heard those songs left, right and center. The system has been there processed. The system has been in government for. Woboyenda okubisa ekintu in terms of term limits, it wouldn't take even a month. But if it has to do with the health bill, which concerns omuntu wa bulido, then it will keep dragging left, right and center. So nze ndowooza nti much as okwegemya nti whether or not omuntu asobola okujja okuliya okweyamba, which is actually his constitutional right nga wekitibwa walikoba. How about if we actually embraced our society twagidamu enono? When we hear that the former speaker died, with all due respect, of cancer, but as he died, he was actually also building another kind of, hospital like to whatever cancer. Then you begin to understand that maybe
it's the same report we have got from General Elite,
yeah, maybe
he's died of lung cancer.
Absolutely. Maybe until chikukonaku, me wa declare that, oh, Mona Chiruma, I think let us put it forward for our people.
Actually, for that note, Honorable Tulina Dr. David Semfuka, yakola obulezi obuwonya cancer. I quote from himself. Yakuba nti alikula ajana sawa nakuba parliament muyambye. President yatuuka n'olagira minister Musenero ayamba omwami oyo. The man is struggling. Is writing for other countries. Oba oli abanaso omuyamba ajeyo. And abantu befe balifa cancer tulina omuntu asobola okola obulezi, but because as if we don't have planners, can't we put that blame on you people?
Na already okobye nti yatuukira president ya mukoba omukugu mwine Dr. Monica. Oidi inze waida jendi yakoba ati ndikola amalezi imba tidi ayi president yamuwa omukugu mwine. In fact,
so in parliament was you know of national importance
gundi Mr. Lubogo will agree with me in the process ey'okutestinga eddagala ly'ojja okuwa abantu maybe aikiriza eti on the passing the test process y'amaanyi. So I don't think nti oyinza okwida widina eddagala waakuba nti lino eddagala liwonya kino by no testing no passing mu processes njino perhaps yandibairenga aguma abone engeri gyali kikola, but I would advise him, okay, a petition in the parliament where that matter will be referred to health committee investigating ebone is there any deliberate move kumu frustrating kuba tibona NSN person ayinza okuba nti wali eddagala I mwalirwanisa mwakoba nti twenda idagala eryo omuntu oyo alireta. I don't think so. There must be an issue somewhere which is technical, which is scientific. Inzeni weje tubanga tituidi nga Dr. Musenero ndoza na akolachi na achid. Perhaps at one time ojamu inviting ako mukonti eriyo omuntu ali cooperating on this particular aspect. What is it? I'm sure she has the answers as to why this particular person tali kuyambiwa o alikuyambiwa ayenga process erino kujja mpola ayenga tumaliriza nenda atwala omukisa guno okusaasira family ya General Tumwine. General Tumwine oyo he has been a friend nze nga Mutembuli nga mukwano gwange. The first time I met him naja na wakawe yo nakasero natuuka picture gye namufuna mutine gye nalingani mulowolezangamu. Very jolly man, very knowledgeable, nga discussing ebintu byene binjino era kankobere nti ngaba na Uganda we have lost someone ali very knowledgeable. Uleka bino gundi picture gyatira okutaano mu bantu nga ali serious, because he was telling me, Yusuf, when you're dealing with serious issues you must put that face so that people get to know that you're serious.
So that was not the no,
that was not the General Tumwine. Ifo tubairenga tubaku naye mu daily life eyiye. Era ngo oyinza okwebuunyanga ali ku kamera engeri gyali nkolamu edowooza koti ono omuntu gyembaire ku naye. But that is him. That is him. Yakubanti, if you're dealing with serious issues, okay, you should put on a serious face so that people get to know that you're serious. That is what he told me. I was also interacting with him. I said, but General, to be honest, this is a personal issue I want to discuss with you. You're not the person that I know when it comes to public key. Yusuf, if you want people to get to know that you're serious, taku facing ngeri serious, bajategera nti ensoga doli kwogera ku diriti serious. So that is the person who have lost a life ngaba movement. Tubona ntuluzinze kada wa manino kuba n'omusaada abayirenga agezaako okutusomesa yatuta mu mbeera n'okukoba wawe baavwa ni freedom eno gye tuli kulwanira kufena gye tuli ku ya contributing kinene ino okubona nti tuliwe tuli wano fena twaida twatambula obwire twatuuka ano nga wazira na kizibu ekiriwo.
Nzembe ekigenti Jeno waide eno abera alina face data
Very serious nga tayenda muzano.
Jeno bero tukolanga byokututiisa tiisa ifene.
Okuba serious face abatatiisa tiisa.
Kampumule mu katono ndikuyiro tavao. Nize susa okukumula eno ni program the platform nize samu mwesgwa. Tuli musindisa ife ekyokubiri abantu abali mu district y'Eruwukawo abali okusala bankobye nti baterere kwa screen mu kibuga muli kubona mwebale okuba ate nga mutwenda Luwuka tujja kuideeyo tukabonekwe na promesi nga 16 tulukidde okulambula amasomero genda ulaawo tuyambe ku abaana ab'obuwala bamaleko emisomo gyaibwe tuli batwalira paadisi obukampa Luwuka n'endi ku district edirikola ng'obyo ebigezo ebibanga bize ate nga abaana b'obuwala kantu katono kati konka kamulemesa okusoma era ewaka so abantu ab'emitima emirungi mwidde mutwegeiteko nga Baba Media Group sobola okuba ate nga tuyamba abaana abasomyi abali mu district y'Eruwuka so twidda kubaawo enaku omwezi nga 16 nga taamu yakaigulawo olwokutaano olusooka mu studio zimuno nina muhona w'Yusufu Mutembuli mbaka Parliament wa Bunole East ate nga amyuka isentebe w'akakiiko ak'amateeka mu Parliament nina mu munnamateeka Isaac Christopher Lubogo mu ssaawa yaffe mu kitundu kyaffe kino kyokubiri nenda tulingirire ku nsonga egema ku bantu President Aidenga ng'ayogera emikozi mingi ku nsonga ey'ebibali era yagyogeraku yalaga nti abantu bali kulimira mu bibali balikola nsobi obuli abali kulimira mu omtyere ng'abalawo option y'okwaya ebyenanja era najja ku Butaleja eyo bankuba ati waliwo kuna abantu be baweerezaako obwenanda bufingaling soap unfortunately nti eyali engaddemu oba demonstration nga bwetwalaba nti bwebajja otandikira gwe bawa byamulema abasigaire bwe bakuba ati oba kati gwe balonzeemu gwe batukube nti niisita byamulemi mutuleke mu mutyere Honorable ndiwulira nti abantu batandise okubabinga mu bibali gavumenti erize ebifo ebyo koze ebindi they are reserves era nakubwene iwe mwene omuna NRM ng'olidemera mukama wakuba abantu nti mutava mu bibali musigalemu mubona engeri yemuzaanamu ebyobufuzi mu nsonga ey'enkulankulana kiki wabeera olitegeeza
tyabaire nga ndi kujemera mukama wange aye nabaire ndikuta mu nkola mukama wange kyeyayogera Abannayuganda abali tubona nga 7 ogw'omukaaga omwaka guno Parliament nga President ali ku addressinga Parliament the whole nation yona ku nsonga ebigamagana n'ebibali yayogera nga buli omu awulira era ni record sidondona tukalinado yakoba ati ndikulagira ebibali byona mu Uganda abantu bababinge kubavwemu okutoolaku ekyo kyenenda buli omu akitegeere nti ebukedi Ebutaleja eri mu bukedi ebusoga n'ebyalo ebya Kigezi timusooka kutoolawo bantu saawa dino olw'ensonga nti abantu abo bayida mu bibali ebyo myaka dayira yakoba nti eri abantu there are people misguided them okujayo and therefore whichever mistakes were made should not be visited on the people. Olikitegera now President yakoba nti before ndowoozeeku okutoola abantu abo mu bibali okulekerawo okulima omukyere tulina ebintu nga bibiri bye tulina obakolera ekisooka nti abantu abo tujja kwogera nabo tubakompensating okibulira ekyokubiri tulina obanooneza alternative source of livelihood okibona n'omuli byokobye nti okulima oba okulunda ebyenanda ne okulunda ente n'ebintu ebindi olikibona now as to why wabwoine eddoboozi nangezeyizaako erya geno tumwinere yankoba ng'oyenda bategeere nti oli serious ku nsonga nifeesi yona efuuke ki serious nakobye nti President mugwamukaaga tuli mugwamunaana wakalina abitawo myezi 2-3 already abantu badifayinze directive ye bagiye ku ground bali ku demarcatinga balikoba abantu nti mukoma wano ekibali kikoma wano omuntu ayini acres 200 bali mulekera ku half 19 balikoba Minister of Water, okay, nga baliko banti baligezaako okubona nti bayiza buyaka wetland. Oli kibona? Now, inze ekyatulumya ino nga members of parliament. Inti throughout process eno ebairenge eri kujja mu maiso ngezira kye tuidi. Now, when it happened, inti baliko magunda abantu batukubira amasimu. Definitely we got concerned. Twajja ku ground to find out what happened. Nga abantu generally president yako bantu should involve stakeholders. Utuwe nebuziza mugano wange Lubogo. Eriyo stakeholder mu district josolo ku involvinga nga to involvinze member wa parliament.
Mutereno zane mizani byofuzinga.
Now, yes tuzane byofuzi aye nga tuzane byofuzi ebiriwo. Oli kibona. Wana tulikuta mu kikola cha president. Let me tell you, we have engaged the president on several occasions. Gatuli mukwera nti, for instance, Abe Butaleja tidio ba Mr. Lubogo atukanga ke Abe Butaleja. Abe Butaleja almost 70% wobanga oli kubo twenda tola abantu mu kibali. Then you must look for a different district or to game if abantu be Butaleja otutwaleyo. Olwensonga nti almost 70% eri muki mu madi. Okay? So oingo ino kunonya alternatives. Engeri kijosobola okubona nti we coexist. Inti tito enona byobutonde, but at the same time we also surviving. Nga if we have always said, is there a better way? Jetusolo usomesa mu abantu baife bano. Nti byetwenda okola endi menungi so that at the end of the day obatu bayetu likuli mabubinga kiri kwenone kya obutonde. Muzira yo engeri enungi je musolo tukuba nti tulime nga tulimu omtyere gwaife nga tufunamu ni sente at the same time nga tuli kwenona ki obutonde. Ekyo kyenkoba tunosomesa abantu if at all is possible. Aye because abantu.
But do you think it is possible?
It is. It is. Eri omuntu ampandikire lero yankoba nti China, is it yankobe China, Kenya, I think even over Tanzania. Inti balimo omtyere. Okay? Aye mwizo okulima omtyere at the same time nga muli kulunda neki nebyenanda, but in the same whatever. Babegese engeri yo controlling amadi yo kolachi at the end of the day mwabanga tumuli kwenona neki obutonde. You know, eriyo chetuliko ba we are talking about sustainable development. Ne constitution ya ifemo objectives principles nga wakobye. Even to know ku nsonga ya sustainable development. Inti webango likozesa eitaka lino. Okay? Likozese for you today but even for the future. Olishtegera. So that is where we should concentrate. Aye kiboneka ife tulikulowoleza future. Kuwa wokuba abantu nti muve mu acres omuntu omukobyo tuva mu acres 12 tuva mu 19 n'ekitundu osigaze ekitundu kuba tuli preserving abandi. You thinking about future but present toli kola tuligita mu consideration. Yet constitution is very clear into when you're planning for present and the future. So what government is doing ochibona, and that was the president's view, and that is his view up to now. Akali kuchusa, okay. And that's why I said it before. President akali chusa chirowozo the guidance jiyawe kali kola ekali chuka. Yes, and basically that's what I said. I said it unless we get a different directive from the president. President ya consulting different experts. Bamukuba nti okay, there is a way we can manage. Kuba ife kanku example ife tukuliremu oba mubyeta bibali oba bikife bye tukuliremu. Omtyere ogwo kankobe singa okola ensobi wakobe bunole ntotoire wo omtyere. Muganda wange webange eriyo digulide obulire kunti diri ebunyole. Denedo wedikomawo. Wedikoma lwaki inti ife bunole ekintu etubezizaawo ninze okusoma otuuka wano mukyere. Olikitegera. So at the end of the day, ife tuliko bantu obanga oli kwenda abantu bave mu kibali. Okay? Tosoka aba kuba nti mufulume member we alternative. Tugoberere president guidance jiyawa. Let's first of all, as we are mobilizing ourselves, okuwona nti compensating abantu bano, okubona nti tubafuna alternative sources of livelihood. Wetuba we ebintu bino, then we can now tell them. But I was even telling our ministry nti bali kuleta simanyi mbo okulima byenanda wena mweno byogeireko. It's not very easy. An ordinary person okulunda byenanda is not something very easy. So you need time okutraining abantu, okubasomesa, then bene nze nkoberanga abantu nti omujjakobera abantu nti byenanda bireeta sente osinga omukyere. Tobakobera bukobere. Bateo batandika okubirunda n'okulima omukyere. Bene bajatuuka kati kitegeeza okulunda ebyenanda bisinga ki okulima omukyere.
Okay. Council. President tuno mulundi ogusooka okwogera abantu bave mu bibali. Ndowooza wemba tibaze bulungi giri oti ginaatera owera emikuze emirundi 10. Council President bw'abanga akalwanagana n'ekintu ki. Onalwo yatuuka okuba nti eminisitule eringa erikweyewereza mu lusoga okweyereweza kitegeeza omuntu okola ekintu ng'eziramutumya. Aye nga President alaga nti tuli kwenda atereza butonde bwansi. Aye nga yena alwanaganye nakyo okumala ebbanga aye nga kikaalituukirira. Abaligezaako ekituukiriza MP yakoba nti ife President yatukoba ati ani alijja okutuukiriza ekyo era mu inside finality ani ali kuzaana omuzaano gwa jangu nkukwekule.
We're referring a council for me to live a council. So
Obolikowa council obogo council mutembule bucho.
You may call me Doctoris.
Doctoris.
So when you reply say Doctoris.
Obogo mwene.
Ebintu oistiwa byali kwogera is a perfect politician. And I cannot really blame him.
He's a
perfect politician. So is His Excellency. One of the things that amazes me really in terms of NCIF in Uganda is whether or not every itching omuntu wa bulido ne because a president okuva any proclamation which becomes a law and order. When you read my book, Executive Constitutional Mandate, Demystifying the Fountain of Honor, these are the quarrels that I have every day, my brother Samuel. And I get, with all due respect, disgusted by proclamations that come and tomorrow they become law. If we have entrusted the people governing in terms of policy making, then we should put them at task by implementing these policies. My brother ayogere ku nsongege magana ni Dr. Msenero in respect to omuntu gwomubuziza aina invasions edige magana ni cancer cure. But one thing we forget, politicalization of almost institutions in Donadona, they have an element of mfunirawa. Precisely. If Wabaul is a Professor Gwang Chiakoba, his greatest enemy, number one, in the invasion of COVID, Exialian, National Drug Authority. The very policy, the very institution that's supposed to do what? To govern him.
And the same is coming to same food.
The same thing is happening to all those people. Now, my brother, rightly so, a perfect politician, has to fight for the interests of the woman people where?
Because they vote him.
Because they vote him in office.
And not only just information, not only voting me, but I feel that's the only source of survival.
Good point. Do you think omuntu wabaliku promoting or agitating or promoting a sustainable environmental law? Where I've written a book, by the way, which is called Environmental Sustainable Energy in Uganda. You can Google it. It is on Amazon. It is on Smashword. It is on Digital to Draft. It is in Makerere. It is in UCU. It is in all the entire world. Oloza nti alino rokuba nti alikulira kiri kufa Abe Butaleja. Really? How about here in Igaba, where they are full of houses surrounded in the swamps? Namamve. Why don't you make a comparative analysis? What is the cause of the floodings?
Not drafting policies because of...
What is the causing of the floodings in Kampala, where it rains one rain season, one shower like this? It's because of the implementations of some of these things. So me, I'm thinking there is someone now who wants again to take advantage of those people. Seriously speaking, and I'm telling the fact.
So it is not becoming for the good.
It's absolutely not.
A national
absolutely
issue.
not.
And I agree with you, because why would they do that? But looking if members of parliament, okutaba process here.
And by the memory interested, honorable Kanko,
to interested, and 20 to an interested.
Kyango banisino.
Abantu betuli presenting era interest daife da abantu.
When I am defending abantu, which is right, nti interest da abantu, but it's on record in honorable. Waliwo issues edisinga edida. Basically evictions. Abantu batolebwa abantu leave alone abali mu bibali abalwiremu. Neri yabesenza abantu nga abantu bali mu
Our president yalagira babatolewo.
But when they say to leave atolawe, still members of parliament, councillors, leaders come abantu baife. That's why sometimes I don't involve you people in such areas.
Bwebanga tukulwanyisa bulungi bwansi, as we're talking about in terms of sustainable energy,
should have a holistic approach.
We should have ekintu ekigamagana nga tikiza segregation whatever.
Exactly.
Ate nze ndowooza kyandibwe ekitandikirawa wano wetukibona abwe mukyala abali kulima omtyere abali kukwaya ente daibwe because they simply go and drink the water and go back. Really? To me, I don't think the problem is because intibale. The problem is someone who wants actually either to deceive them. You remember Mabira. You remember the Mabira issue where people are saying we are now going to plant sugarcane. Then one individual came up and started demonstrating. When the person reached the high table, stopped talking.
Because when you're on the high table and you are eating.
And you have reached the high table.
That's the Kamsa Yina, Kusawa 8 and Kampumlemo Katono, but never tenga to zip to the Jacoba tenga to Tandikida when out. And so again, a cosis abantu, Tiabantu Uganda or no Yagana Deu, Ngayakubia idea to state house, see a quiver. Waliwo musadali mukonao alina acres lusambu na kinana yena alikula jana ndi yaja ne mu Uganda Land Commission ba mukoba kyoli nokola eitaka lyo 780 acres sigaza ku 380 400 acres derabire. And people abantu mu abasinga omulina obuyinza, and when you come and you are cruising muri bugaga mutukagane mulina IDs omutuka y'abantu abo they pay allegiance wabo nanga wazira kyakola mumbere efaanana eto tulijjakola tutya ndi kuyota vaawo azayiwo kalina ife tuli mu kitundu kyaife ekisembayo kya program on the platform nze Samu Mwesigwa. Waliwo abantu ababeere bakalinda enteekateeka generali Eritu Mwene enteekateeka dedde okumusika ddala olunaku lwankyo olunaku olwokubiri nakuda omwezi nga 3 ojja muzika irere mu disitulikiti y'e Kazo era abantu balijja okuziika babaaniriza n'abantu b'okubyalo eyo. Then abantu abalijja okuba ate nga babalekera omulangira w'essaza erya Kigulu olunaku enakuda omwezi gyaba lulala olunaku olw'eddo kunkyo nakuda omwezi nga 3 kusaawa 4 omubiri gwe gujaba mu kusoga lukiiko kusaawa 4 kusaawa 8 kuve ku All Saints Church ejanga awo kusaawa 10 odoligulo waliwo ekisaawa kyagagava igangaawo omulangiro yaseerere ow'essaza erya Kigulu His Royal Highness Zimba Patrick Gologolo era n'enteekateeka eri abali kudde embuzanga babeerabire tutakuba ate nga tubibatuusa nenda tumaliriza Honorable weewaawo ensonga etuuseewo era wakuba enduulu osobola okuyambibwa aye ekitono ekino wekiri awa nti lwaki tuuka mukaire nga ku rigimu ya NRM gye tulina abantu abaanunula bye mwakuba nti nebyali ebikyamu ku mirembe egyaliwo tukaalimu ne bamafiya nti abantu bakola ebintu on their own interest and the government is not aware. A few people baida batigumya abantu ku kyalo mu district mu region and the government says as if tukanonereza katubinonerezeko. The case in point of eitaka but now those evictions binona bigwa walala byali ma government yen and sidijja bujje wekyongera okuba wasi to comment NRM waliwo ebyabalema tubigemye abantu abandi but evictions on land dibalemye nti weno otandise okwekubira kw'enduulu ewuwo. What is the solution?
Oidi kunsi kuno nga nkaali kwogera nenda kusaasira famire ya Mulangira okuba nti mbaire eriyo wenabaire nako nti musaasira okufa bankuba nti bo tibakola ki tibafa wabula bakola ki baseerera yaseereire nda basaasira ne Busoga yona yona nikyabazinga baba okuba nti muganda we yakuviire yaseereire yakuvaaku tubasaasira mwena mwena n'abana Uganda bona kuba abaira asavinga Uganda tibusoga yonka. Oyogeire ku nsonga y'eitaka kunsi kuno twalinganira kitala waife nga tuli kali ku LDC akali mu practice bamweta nangwala yatukoba nti ngoli kwenda okufa mwangu biri bintu biti jja ku mukazi wa muntu wajja ku musada wa muntu ekyokubiri jja ku itaka lyaki ly'omuntu. Tegeeza was emphasizing how important eitaka weliri era kyova olibona nti but because of pressure gye tulinayo nti eira amataka abantu tebalibonanga nga kintu ekiryawo ekyamaani ino kyova obona nti ojo kweyagana nti daadawo yalinga neitaka nga inene yayetaku n'abantu abaani nti munaide obeeku kuki oidde obe ku itaka lino obe neiba wange olwaleero ekyo kizirawo. Instead omuntu mu kifo ky'okuba nti datube niwe wano ku itaka ate akusindika okole ki n'eribanga liri ayenda okole ki oveemu. So given value eri attached ku itaka buti okay demand y'eitaka eriwo y'amaani and olikwogera kuba mafia ntabaliikola be baliikola. I don't believe it ba mafia abo ba movement kutola ku ngone emingire nti gundi ono ba movement. Era tichiwa ifenga movement nti tuliwo ni police ekoba nti tujje tu invicting abantu. Ulina ku President Museveni akyogera ku kintu kino nti people should not be evicted. Okay? People should not be evicted. But it abakola atya
akyogera olwaleero.
But I know people have been arrested. Abantu abakola ebintu ebyo kyendidi nti abasinga obungi baba arrestinze. Oide kyali where was that? Was it that time of COVID? Ekyaleeta amaani ino Lusanja bali betayo batya?
Lusanja.
By evicting abantu era abantu abasinga obungi babagema bakola ki? But amazima
abali mnene business the one who are behind or evicting and they are claiming in the career.
Tibabagema. Those guys were arrested. Era ife tulikobera abantu just give information. Okay? Mwe abantu mutuwa information. We munatuwa information to be very easy to arrest those fellas. Okay? So, ife nga movement, nga government tuzira police eko bantu bagobe abantu muki muitaka. Particularly ngo omuntu abayire muitaka lye nkoberanga abantu. Into abantu babayire mu mataka for 12 years, 30 bichi ngezira muntu yasubuka javwa. After 40 years abantu babayire kuitaka nga ko anti nize mwene itaka lino era ndine ekyapa kikino ndikwenda mukole ki muve kuitaka. Amateeka galiwo eri abantu betwera bona fide lo fulo kipansa bona obaidi bulungi. Okay? Eite amateeka galiwo when someone has been on the land for 12 years tosola ku claiming itaka wali mutola ku butolo otyo. I in disregard of all that but taking advantage of ignorance y'abantu. But good enough muliko observing at members of parliament are trying as much as possible to protecting abantu mu areas daibwe. You know what was happening in Mubende there, but members of parliament balwana kwekisobokera wolingira leero eviction gundi rate they minimize the little bit kuba as members of parliament we are vigilant tulikoba ntulwanira edembe lyaki ly'abantu. You are not going to allow abantu bagobe bantu ku mataka.
Minister of Water erikola ekintu ekiri against the directive of the president.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Because they are saying they have a project. You see, project Jebali running according to them information Jebatuwaire is of 2017. Now I even asked them, are you trying to tell me the president ya itaidinti eliyo project eno meakole directive jiyakolo on 7th June 2022? Olichibona. Now we baba idaba akolanga timuli vigilant. Niroboko kyakukubye into we don't know the intention behind. If actually we chibantu chituli ku cha kukumba butonde waliyo areas demugemaku omuntu mwena ali kulima omtyere yalumuka bulumukate obanga bagemye kuna manvu amayumba gona bagataire wansi oli kibona ndi kubulira ate industrial park ngeri mugundi byona byona bifanana inti tujire mbale mu industrial park inti tulibona nti bakubye okubona nga amadwe gakubye bako omuntu mwe najja kulumuka bulumuke but like Mr. Lubogo has said into inzo okuba nga toza they are doing it in good faith into for purposes of okuba nti bali kulikira iminga bali kulinda butonde when actually eriyo omuntu alini target ye inti muntu olire wa abantu abo nze mbe ne kyensobola okolaki okolawo you get ojabo na tomorrow or the other day ngekyo kikola kiga kikolewa that is why president lwakuba is away of obuvuyo era bulina kubona nga president ayoma ne ba technical persons gabako anti balikola ebintu ebitali kuyamba ki egwanga oli kibona
but nga president asibo tuka ku level
so president chovu wona aliku atime aidamu yabona chovu aliko banti ona yaleta idagala lye is being frustrated
and the president is
oli kibona no president is not silent lwansonga nti yamuwa omuntu wokudiringa naye trust me if this man gets back at the president ajja kwetono amubuze nti how far have you gone with the ABCD oli kitegera so at the end of the day evictions doli kwogera ku dino that is so rampant but as members of parliament we have resolved titujja kuyikiriza abantu kuba binganga bubinge ku mataka of course waliyo evictions do bonanga maybe dili genuine nti abantu bavuire bajja bagwa bugwe kuki kuitaka nti lwakuba liri awo yerere that may be something you can understand aya abantu baire ku mataka myaka 3 4 5 yo wakera bukere wa idoti nze nini chapa mugana wango najja kukobera equitable against legal interest the times when I have equitable interest and they prevail over your legal interest okay
ongoye
doctors
can we call the Uganda as a government which is uncoordinated the president the ministries nti ereyinzo eretuka ku level okuba baba ka parliament tulitukiza kiragiro kya 2017 president yayogere 2022 can we say that into tuliemu iwange ya coordinated president yayogera sire bale bakola byeibwe buli muntu akola bye president yatoka abantu okwegayirira abantu twalina yekololo jali mikolo ja URA I don't recall baye yayi ku mikolo ja kusibula governor yakuba mu Uganda munondidi abali benguzi mbaidi bampo olukalala mbaidi ayenkano nyabudulizi see is the president nazira wiru oba alina abana Uganda batya butisawe na bamutisa yene
zena kanegaite ku okitibwa okusasira family ya mulangira munange wedizera ni mulangira
ya Lubogo
muganda wange asereire aye tusaba nti Katonda agume family yaiwe mu kiseera kino of course ni general nga okitibwa wakobye yena tusasira family ye naire aba yana face bilinga boligeza ko tukoba odonze ndoza nti omuntu bwafa ngawe nkobye Oluganda is a perfect politician aligeza kukolera flower language nti atida kwogera kibe ku munange yafi so inokola justification ye bitu yene byona
ne obusiramu butulagira omuntu wafa timumwogera ku bifutu
so aligeza
na we no musiramu mulalanga ali kumwogera ke ebibi nakandi naire yajja asome bulungi
so ekibuzo kyobuziza these are some of the ebintu byengemyeko by the way mu kitabo kyenkobya ekya actually this is another book which is constitution executive mandate when dogera ku demystifying the fountain of honor and the tenets of constitutionalism at the end of the day to know kwirayo ku tenets the constitution do we really have a system of checks and balances okitibwa kyali kwogera ku is an element of a check and balance in play implementers webaida ni bakati goba bantu tulikubasala kuitaka muve mu swamps or whatever but without consulting the stakeholders like the members of parliament then I think it is also wrong if they don't consult the stakeholders ntibana imweni mwa representatives ba abantu muide mutukobere ensonga enegemaganachi tujigemye tutya how can we educate masses bano kutegera ensonga edo kyona nti avayo nago buto yaluma yakati no I think this is wrong so I agree with you Wokoti system government ezira order but nga bwe principles za checks and balances as nga bwe diba mu constitution obo dino okuba nti legislature erina okucheckinga ki executive ya checkinga judiciary, all those aspects. You know, policy makers nga bwokobe, policy makers where there are ministerial people abaida on behalf of the executive perhaps babisa policies, then the legislators bakola amateeka babaga amateeka, then the judiciary ya interpreting in terms of the law. All those angles donna dino kubanga dikolagana. I would oyagana nga unfortunately waliwo only one element. Esabujinza amani gali gona yabanga all powers been centralized in one arm of government and the others are simply rubber stamps. Then we have a problem as a country. That's the source of all those problems. Chali Kokoba, before you go to Butaleja or wherever, how about these issues that are happening here in the neighborhood?
And no one is seeing.
Where you're actually having barbecues, you're having parties. These days I hear there's, what do you call them? Baby showers. Now they are introducing other showers. All stories, baby to every now and then.
Bridal shower.
Bridal shower, commitment shower, proposal shower, everything. And the floods are terrible, you know. So it's a question of constitutionalism, or respecting amateka gaife, respecting tenets the constitution ngabadi no kuba nti abakulembeze baife batesa baba ngati balumirira igwanga ne point je tuligezaako okuba nti tuine okulumira igwanga nti ekintu kye tuligezaako okubaamu ticha ifefenka but we are stakeholders olwa kyababa kalina kola ki kuzaalibwa. We should be people who are supposed to okulingira mu maiso so that NCFA baniche betachi continuity.
Okay. Honorable, what is the solution for this? Because you will kulwanira Butaleja, but the next day is going to be another one.
In fact, the contrary, ndi kulwanirira Busoga, ndi kulwanirira Bukedi, ndi kulwanirira Kigezi. Olwaki nti ebifo ebyo president ng'amaze okola research emala. Okay? Yabona nti okuinvictinga abantu ku saawa dino obo bayise obo batwayire ku source of livelihood oli kibona. So yakoba nti bano balwire ne ibali bino andera fotosola akera tosobola ntero okuwa example nti ifo okulima omtyere oyinza ogwikwetinga nga ku bantu aba mu western abalonde ente. Oyinza okera lwaliro wako abantu bamuwisani tumulekera okulunda ente kisoboka bakwikiriza buyikiriza immediately beona bayikiriza ati tulese tutukayenda wabakuboti buti ente tinungi ndikwenda muve munte musimbe kalitusi bajja kuchikiriza kijja kutwalira ibango kuba konvisinga okuva munte kuba bakuzenga bachidi nti echo nikibabeziza abana bayiwo okusoma buli kimu buti wo wabuliddo omuntu otayidi omtyere ogwo waido tukobera oti esete di mufuna mtyere muno tidikola kitidi mala aye ennumba donna doliibona ebunole nga dinirira abaana bo bonanga bali kusoma ebunole buli kintu kyoliibona ebunole awo kiri kwida as a result of okulimachi omtyere. It's almost part of our culture now, custom. Nti ifo omuntu ngozira muyiga ngozira wolima omtyere titukubala nti weno oli musaado oli mukazi ebunole. Oli kibona now that prestige, that emotional attachment abantu gibali ku kintu kyaiwe atenga ne kireta sente tosobola kukeera bukeere kuncho abakoboti muvwewo. And that is why president yali very calculative and very mindful of the fact nti abantu bano this is a mindset issue. Ntolina abatambuza mpola ng'obasomesa mpola before they agree with you nti kyoli kwogera kiriyo aye wojja bwijo abakoba nti we iwe oidino okusinga ibo ngabantu babayiro ku myaka 7 imeka byona iwe wavuere watu inze nasomye wakasoma busoma omaze na myaka 5 mukaga 10 ngoido bakubira oti nze ndi dine bigemagana ku gundi eno bichi nenda muvwewo trust me kijja kuba nkiriwo obuzibu
abantu bebe mukulembera
ngabakoba ki
imwe bena abakulembeze ni mwaba bali amulukwe
tutya
you receive petty cash
ngaliwa
mwayenda okutunda abantu bayi
buti kankubuuze oidi eri ebintu obanga bali kwenda kuba divertinga. That is what begins batandika okuba nti ate ono mukulembeze bamuwaire sente biki ebyo bibaawo aye nga bali kwenda akola ki kwa divertinga ezira muntu omulalu asobola okuyikiriza abantu be kati nze kankobe abantu bali kubinga of over 20,000 acres families of over 150 bona nga bali kujja okuba denied nganze mutembuli njampikinga no bakubanga bakuwaire milioni 10 wa 2 wa 3 nga iwojo ofuna sente ngoleka abantu bakola ki nga bawona those are Ugandans abandi but not we
even in parliament
oli kibona not we ezirangeri jo solo okugema ekitunga ekyo ate kankobere ekyokubiri omuntu asobola akuwa sente de wali ate wajja ku TV watandika okumukola atyo oyinza osulawo wajja watandika ate okumukola atyo wakoze tibuzawo oyinza okola ekyo so kyenenda akobera nti ebyo n'ebintu ebibaawo even when parliament is investigating omuntu mutandika ngobona senyonyi bamuwereza bilioni eti gundi gachibali kwenda ko mudiverting abakutole kuki kumulamwa ayefe bitutwabyega inti tujja kuyikiriza muntu yena eno kudiverting omuntu bamala okukola batyo bakuchawise mu bantu okay Mr. Rubogoba council Rubogoba yogeireko bamala okucha mu bantu nga bayidanga belota nti bali balungi ekidirira ki nga batwala so ife tuliko nti wetubanga tuli serious nti bano aba ministry mbakobye into lunaku lwe liba wonanga muli serious ku bifo byene byetuyidi nti bino byetaaga okuvaawo mwatula wa abantu ninza ajja kulumuka ebunole nko abantu tabana akiwoneka lero tuli serious ku issues of tuli serious on issues of wetlands but for you to just come and look for my small people abali struggling to live waleka abantu wajasi bali mulakizale kuzimba hotel jasi okiwona yakola sente ni sente taidi wakiti twale akati mupe kibali ekyo nze ntemu sente dange iwojo gemo omuntu wange webunole abayirawe emyaka n'emyaka nga ekintu ekiri mu besa n'omtyere ni president yena nga yakitegeera yakoba tutomutolawo iwovere amulete technical person nabakobye nti wuti tujja kubona technical against political nolutalo lujja kubaawo
so ngomaliza do you believe nti government yenu mu nsonga eyelemereirwa
atelemereirwa president guided kyendi kukobera telemererwanga ku president ya guiding on what must be done and as people we are waiting for the president guiding
aiwa president ayogera bademu muri
so bana bali kudema butifwe tulina okuyamba president bajatulira ife era nze nagiire eyo okwenforcinga n'okukobera abantu president aleeta ekirowoozo bano abandi ab'olugezigezi bayenda okukyenoona butiifu on behalf of the president twajja ku ground twabakobera position ya president batubulira ndisiibula nga nkoba nti twetaaga okukolera walala fena nga government kiwoneka bubi ino obona mwesi gwali tukubamu ebituli nti we are coordinated but when you look at how things are done one can agree nti somehow we are uncoordinated kuba if you can come up with a project jolowooza nti nungi ino and you don't involve area members of parliament of that then abantu wajja wabasomesa yalunaku lulala lunaku lubiri tibategenda bijja mu maiso just the local leaders and then you don't even involve communities kitegeeza ati waliwo obuzibu therefore nze ndikoba ekintu kirala nti wetuba nti tulina projects gye tuyidi nti gijaganirwa abantu let's involve all relevant stakeholders so that twikanya twakola ebijja mu maiso ebitajja tuswaza n'otuvumya nti tuli coordinated tuyidi byakukola president yateola eiteeka yakola directive yakoba nti abantu ba Bukedi abebusoga ne Kigezi timuva mu kibali timulekera kulima mukyere gwaimwe paka nga bawaire compensation paka nga batuwaire alternative source of livelihood era kyendi kwira mu okobera abantu nti president yayogera akali kukyusamu ebiri kolewa byona abo bene bayidiwe batolo buyinza bwaiwe
abantu bawulira abakaba parliament osinga president
leka tereza akantu ako tienda kuva ku TV kunongo kyoli kogera abantu bawuliriza ife tuli bali president siba abantu President wayogera yaleeta ekiragiro kitugema kwifwe okuyirayo ku ground tukobera abantu era abantu ebuno babaye bakiidi nga tujja ku radio nga tubakobera nti president yakobezera bwe muva mu kibali paka nga kino kino kikoleyiwa. They were surprised and shocked nti eri abantu abayidi abakuba nti muveewo.
Oteralikirira muganda wange Samuel olw'ensonga nti muganda wange Samuel by the way he has been admitted to study law.
Yes, I'm aware.
So oli kulingira junior council
in making.
So owekitiibwa tweyanza abantu wena ayenze mu binti ebitonotono muganda wange Samuel no ekitiibwa ndoza kidi nti parliamentary supremacy by the way doctrine eriwo ero jajega as you go to law school rategera nti there is an element of what they call parliamentary supremacy and parliament by the way has privileges that are outstanding wobango gobere enono dado ayenga mu bimpimpi sibula abantu ngamba ko bekigambo kirala ni mukwano gwange mwesiga akidi nti vox populi vox what? Vox Vei. The voice of the people is the voice of God.
Mbeyanziza, thank you for joining us. Tukyotambulira okubadde tutandikire paka n'essaawa eno eddoboozi ery'abantu n'eddoboozi lya Katonda. Era obanga respectinga Katonda wulirisa abantu. Bw'oba towulirisa abantu kyeboogera esegeeza ne Katonda tomuwa kitiibwa. Lucky abantu awulirisa abantu kyetwogera. Cast doors abatanda Katonda nga tibawulirisa abantu. Nize Samu mwesigwa tulijagemagana encho muncho. Muna Uganda akola ino beni sente munsawo ebintu ebyeyongera sente nga bininyeno oliba ne sente ndibigula nga tokuba government etuyambe. Timu yange gyenkoze nayo kudos mebale kuba atenga mbairewo. Sebishabazenga wabusoga lata funvu ebyanda n'ebyo.